Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Inshallah, I'll be doing the summary of day 9 from the from the Dream program, the NAH section by Ustadh Nouman Ali Khan. So today is about special Mudaaf. And of course, Ustaz was discussing the special Mudaaf, how to identify them, what are they, and all this kind of stuff. So there are some words in Arabic, for example, all these one listed here: fawqa, hawla, inda, ma'a, wara, qabla, ba'da, duna. All these are examples of special mudaf. As we read from the last, as we learned from the last video, from day 8, about the mudaf and like they are light, the mudaf relay, and is actually like a jar from, which is kasra. So we are also applying some similar concept here. And of course, we'll be discussing this a little bit later. So, but let's quickly go through my notes. Of course, as usual, there was some kind of a cache the pronoun at the end. Ustaz was checking with Ahmed and Miriam about this. He says some word and okay, is it a pronoun? What is it at the end and stuff like that. So, but anyway, special mudaf, they give extra details of when. So they are not actually have. They are not have, but they are dhav, which means that they are used to describe time and place. So it's about when and what, the place, the where, and actually when. So special mudaf, they're usually in detailed form. So they are found in nasib, yeah? But of course, they can also be in another form. And special mudaf are commonly found in nasib because, of course, they have mudaf ilay after them. So for example, you have, so they are, of course, special mudaf are commonly found in nasib form, yeah, and of course they also have mudaf ilay after them. So since of course they are mudaf basically, so but sometimes of course maybe you take the mudaf ilay away. So but sometimes let's just see what we have so far. So for example, we say khalfa shajarati, so that is like khalfa is under, right? No, it's beside, if I remember correctly. Where is khalfa? Yeah, khalfa is behind, yes. So behind the tree. So it's telling where the action was happening or something. It's like, oh, where are you? Ana bitahti shajarat, I'm behind the tree or something like that. So when we translate the special mudaf, we don't necessarily say like behind of tree. Of course, it's mudaf. We normally put of, like book of these, like Rasulullah, Prophet of God, Rasulullahi. But then in this case, we don't say behind of. Of course, some actually, for example, the ba'ad, which means part of something. If I go back here, so ba'ad is like, of course, but these are extra special, like I would say extra special mode of something like this. So apart from that, naturally, we don't use the of with it. So then, of course, Ustaz keep explaining about if we had, let's say, min. If I say min tahati, so that means it kind of it intensifies the meaning. So that means right under. So min tahtil shajar. So right under the tree, something like this. And when mudaf ilay from special mudaf is taken, it will become non-flexible. And I think, yeah, that's what I was saying. If you say min qabul or you say qabul, so there was an example that Ustaz actually gave. So this is just an example, amama shajara, in front of the tree. But right, if I say min tahti, so that is right under. Right on there. I've also explained that already. So, but then if we take the mudaf ilay away, for example here, qabl al-maghrib, right? This one is just normal, but because of course this is light, this is kasra, so that is mudaf and mudaf ilay. But then when there is no mudaf ilay, is not present, then from it has the mudaf ilay. So qabl, min qabl, even though you have the min, it doesn't jarify it, it's still min qabl, because of course min qablu what you don't say. But if you say min qablu, min qabli, something like that, then you have a mudaf ilay, then it will stay, otherwise it doesn't stay. So inna kunna qablu fi. So in this case, it's also Ustaz also was explaining that okay, just fill in the gap yourself. It's also to give this kind of like it's open for interpretation. For example, in the Quran, min qabl or min ba'd, here of course we don't have, because wa is not, this is just wa of a combination, and so it's not even wa of jada, wallahi, something like that. This is just like continuation. So, and this cannot beat a wa, of course, so it cannot make it mudaf ilay. So, and Ustad also was explaining that if I check my notes, that if we say, for example, let me see, it's trying to prove that it actually isim. So that's why you say min tahti. So min tahti shajara, and that's also another example here. I think I already explained that here. And of course, this is half of jar. It can be an isim. So if it's an half, it doesn't have an effect on it. But since it has an effect on it, that simply means that it's actually an isim. So special mudaaf are also isim basically. They are isim. So ba'da al-maghribi, right after sunset, min ba'da al-maghribi, right after sunset. So my notes, I'm just going here and there now, but you actually got the main point, I hope. So, and I think that is pretty much about it. And of course, the word above remained mansub unless preceded by half of jar, like min qabli, something like that. Of course, nasib means fatiha. And the Arabic term for this special mudaf is dhav. So note that ladun is always preceded by min ladun. So the min is half of jar, of course. Together, ladun and min, they make dhav. So, and we're talking about this bad myth, nafsun, ay, and all this kind of stuff. But let me check if I missed anything again from my notes, which I doubt. So, and I think that's about it. Yeah, of course, somebody was asking, there was a question with this ayah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, inna fi samawati wal ard la ayatin. So, of course, if we say fi samawati, inna cannot beat another half. This is half of jar. So, definitely is not. So, you have to go look for the isim here, which is ayatin, lil mu'minin. Right? And that's it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.